This is Enrique Milwaukee Screen Printing. Today I'm going to be showing you all how to print on these beer cups. Some people use them for beer, I use them for iced coffee. But it's just a cool way to print a logo on these cups that you can wash. You could put them in the dishwasher and the logo won't come off. So a lot of people have been asking about what ink do I use, so I'll be showing you everything that I do from beginning to end. I already have the screen made, but if you're watching this, you probably should already know how to make screens. We print on these glass mugs, and I'll show you the techniques I use and the easiest way, and how to preserve the cup for a long time. The cool thing about these mugs is that they're super cost effective, they're cheap, and these are the same mugs. They're pretty heavy, you know, that they are the same cups that you see at bars that you go to. So it's a cool way to not only have a custom made cup, but if you're interested and you could find a wholesale account with these, you could turn this into a new business. You know, a lot of local bars or local breweries are looking to work with local companies, local screen printers. So if you can perfect this, which I'm going to show you how to do that, you can not only have like a customizable cup, but you can also turn it into a sustainable business. So it's a cool way to you know, promote whatever thing you're doing. If you have like an event in the summer where people are drinking beer, you can put your logo on it, or you can also just you know, offer these for sale. You can put cool logos on them that like represent the neighborhood. That's what we're going to be doing. Where our shop is in a small neighborhood in Milwaukee called Bayview, so we're going to be printing a neighborhood sign with 3 houses that says Bayview, and then we're going to sell them in our shop. So it's a cool way to make extra money, or you know, just to have your own custom mug. So I got the screen already made, and what I'm doing now is I'm just taping up the screen, just because I've printed a bunch of other logos on the same screen just to be more like effective. Just because this logo is pretty small, I wanted to conserve like materials and screens. So there's nothing different about this screen. It's the same way I'd set up a screen if I was going to be printing on t-shirts. So obviously I'm taping up the holes, I'm taping up the other images. So it's really nothing special at this point. One thing that I do like to make sure that I'm doing is I want to make sure that the stencil or the image is clear and that you can read it, and it's big enough to read on the glass, but it's small enough to fit on the glass. So you just gotta like measure your cups and measure how big you want it, and then you'll be able to make a perfect custom glass. Also, with these mugs that we're using, I found out that there's another local candle maker in the neighborhood that buys a bunch of these glasses and turns them into candles, and then she prints on labels. So with the labels that she prints on and puts them on as stickers, it's a really cool thing, but I want to see the sizing that she uses, so I'm going to stop by her later today, and potentially you can print on cups not only for drinking but for candles as well. So that could even be another business. So this is like a business that just kind of keeps giving. So we have the screen ready to go. Usually what I do is set up a sample print. So now that the screen is good to go, I'm going to do a sample print on a t-shirt. Once that's done, I'm going to clean the glasses because they're a little bit dirty, and then from there I'm going to print on the cups. See that the image came all blurry, so what I got to do now is grab my screen opener and just clean it out, just to make sure that it's like fully clean. That's the worst part about this job, is that you have to use a lot of like screen openers. The ink that I'm using is a rapid cure ink that I get from screenprintingdirect.com. I used to get all of my supplies from Grimco. As you can see, that came out amazing. I get all my supplies from Grimco. Or I used to get my supplies from Grimco, but Grimco has been kind of like dropping the ball on delivering orders. So I just went with Screen Print Direct. They take a little bit longer, but at the same time, like I know what I'm gonna get. They're pretty cool. I use Printable for my shop management system. I really just use it for invoicing. I'm still trying to learn how to use the system. It is super expensive, so I plan on moving away from that soon. But I'm just wiping this off because I don't need it anymore. I just wanted to show you for the video. But I think I'm gonna go moving away from them just because it's been really hard to use and it is really expensive. Unless they can help me out. Other than that, I'd probably go somewhere else. Also with S&S Activewear, I've had a lot of problems last month where I lost over like $2,000 in merch and blank shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. I did get it back. I got it back too late. I ended up losing about 8 hours one day, so I had to drive a total of like 4 hours. I had to wait for 2 hours when I got there. And it was just a big struggle, and they didn't really help me. They didn't offer me any discounts or anything like that. I spent maybe over 100,000 this year already on blanks, so it's super frustrating. I'm frustrated with myself that I didn't have Alpha Broder account, which I just applied for them, so I'm probably going to be using them more. Even though I don't really have any problems other than what just happened last month, but it happened like 4 times in the same week, and I spent even more time on the phone trying to like figure things out. I did get $800 worth of shirts that never came. The UPS said that they were delivered. I guess they showed proof. I tried to ask for that proof. I didn't see any of it. They didn't have a picture. They just said they delivered it. So I pretty much took a loss on that, and S&S couldn't help me out with that. You know, I've been going through them for more than 10 years, and this is the first time something like that's ever happened. But it happened so many times, and it was pretty frustrating. Especially even when I drove out there, they told me that they couldn't give me the shirt. Like they were out of stock for the new shirts that I needed. But the only reason why I went there is because they told me that they had them. You know, it is a 2.5 hour drive. I wouldn't have even went. I would have just waited. So it was just a lot of runaround. We figured it out, but I want to make sure that I have other suppliers or wholesalers ready, because you know we are a small company, but we are growing. You know, people need their shirts last minute, and we're depending on our every order. You know, helps our bottom line. So. Yeah, we just want to make sure we have things in order. But the ink that we use is the Rapid Cure ink. I was using Wilflex before that, but this ink is a little bit more cost effective, and it's easier to work with, it seems like, or at least for me. So I would recommend you all using that. You can get it at Screen Print Direct. And if you ever need any help with water bottles and stuff like that, or any specific material, feel free to leave a comment, and we'll respond to all our comments with what we use. Yeah, so tap in Milwaukee Screen Printing. Please like and subscribe to our collection, or to our YouTube channel. You might think this is an interesting step just because I set it up and I just told you how to set it up just like any other shirt. But you just wanted to do that to run your test print. So I ran the test print. It looks clean. So I'm going to take this off, flip it. I'm going to flip the screen so that it lines up in the same spot. But I'm just going to flip it upside down. I'm going to tighten the screen so the screen doesn't fall out. And this is just a technique that I learned. This helps out because it just makes it more stable, so you don't have to hold too many things. As you can see, the image is on here. I ran a test print. What I'm going to do is, now you want to come under here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to print as if I was printing a shirt, but there's no shirt. on here. So then I'll come on this side and you can see the ink is kind of poking through the image. So now I'm gonna grab a glass and figure out where I want it placed. I want it here. I'm gonna stick my hand in it and roll it. As you can see, that's a very horrible job. So what we can do is, since it's not dry, this is plastisol ink, we'll take this and we'll just wipe it off. And then we'll do another one. So I'm cleaning this off. And then I'm gonna run another test print. So I'm gonna pass the ink through, ink's through, bring it back down. So now that I passed the ink through here, I got the cup, I'm gonna slide it through one more time. So as you can see, that print came out really, really good. The only thing is that if you notice that it isn't straight. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean it, wipe it off one more time. I just needed to know that I can get the image on there perfectly. I'm gonna clean it up and I'm gonna run another one just to make sure that it's level. So take the wipey again, wipe it off. So the good thing about these wipes is that we're not using like a mug. Sometimes mugs have like dye in them or colors, and when you use the mugs, the wipes take off the ink, so then you'll be left with a lighter color. So the clear glass ones are the best ones to use if you make a mistake. And it's okay to make mistakes just because these glasses are really cost effective. They don't cost that much money. They're about $2 a glass. But it works out because you really can't make a mistake because it's easily fixable. So we're gonna do this again. Pass the ink through there. And try again with the mug. So this one came out better. It isn't leveled all the way. It's closer, but it is a little blurry. So what we gotta do is wipe it off one more time. And clean the screen. So the reason why this came out blurry is because when I wiped it, I didn't clean up all the ink out of the... So I just sprayed it with screen opener. I cleaned it up a little bit, so you always have to do this over and over again. The reason why you have to do that is because it does get clogged in the screen because you aren't pressing it onto a t-shirt. That's the only downside about this, is that when you use, when you print on mugs, you're flooding it and then you're like just placing the mug on it instead of like screen printing the ink directly onto the shirt. So you're screen printing it and then you're placing the mug on top of it. So one pass is really good, so that'll work. And then here's the mug. Make sure it's dry. And then basically, if you keep this bottom, like so, it's a cylinder, but it's not all the same length. So if I were to roll it, it's gonna be in a circle. It's gonna like go in a circle. So what you have to do is kind of control the bottom and keep it at the same level. So right there, that's a perfect mug. If you want to, or a perfect glass. If you want to look at it, you can see that it is a little dirty just because I've been touching it a lot. But the next step is to dry it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring it over to the conveyor. And if I were to place it in the conveyor like this, it's gonna roll around. So what I'm gonna do is grab like a rag shirt, place it on there, and let the ink cure. So we'll watch it pass through. So it should be coming through here. And usually I would have to pass it through twice, or 3 times sometimes. So I'll grab the mug. It'll be really hot, because obviously the conveyor is hot. And I could tell that it's still wet. I'm not gonna touch it just because I don't want to mess up the logo. But I'll pass it through one more time. And usually, this is the worst part, just because you have to wait a long time. But what it does is like it just hardens the ink, and once it's hardened, you'll still be able to chip at it just like any other cup you get. Like the ink is sitting on top of the glass, whereas on a t-shirt it like kind of absorbs into it, and then it still sits on top, but with a textile or a fabric it sits inside of it. With this, it sits directly on top. So this is the 3rd time I'm passing it through, so we'll have to be really careful with like what we do and what we touch it with. But I'm going to show you a spray that we use to set the ink after it's already cured. But right now we have to focus, after we printed it, we have to focus on getting the image dry. So it's still wet. So the first step is prepping the screen the same way we'd prep any other t-shirt orders. 2nd step, run a test print. 3rd step, print the mug. 4th step, making sure that the image lays level on the mug. The next step after that is to dry it and pass it through the conveyor a couple times to make sure that it's dry. The reason why I'm letting it roll through the conveyor instead of like stopping the belt. I'm gonna stop the belt for a little bit, but the reason why I don't keep it that way is because the mug will get really hot, and then if the air is like cooler, it might crack. So I want to prevent that. It won't be the end of the world if that happens, but I just don't want to, I just wasted like 3 minutes, 5 minutes standing here. I don't want to have to do that with every mug. So all right, so now it's almost dry. All right, so now that it came through, it's dry. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna bring it back over here. So I bought this triple thick Rust-Oleum glaze. So ideal for decorative projects. So I saw that in there. It looks like it's some pottery. So that's kind of where I discovered this a while ago, like when I started printing these. So what I'm gonna do is, it's still a little hot, I'm gonna stick my hand in here. I'm gonna cover the top, and I'm just gonna spray over the image. And now that's gonna be holding the image in place, and then I'm gonna pass it through the conveyor one more time. So I usually wear gloves. And that's how you do it.
That's how you print a cup.
So if you have any other questions about screen printing on bottles, post a comment, send a comment, like the video, and every comment I will respond to. And I'm gonna go through all the comments and all the questions that were asked. I'm gonna do another video showing all those things. I'll even post links at the end of the video of like where to buy all this product from and like how to do it better. Hopefully these videos help you, and if they don't, just comment so I can read those and and make sure that I'm making videos that actually help you out, whether it's like tips on how to run a business, different screen printing hacks that I've learned, different marketing methods, different like ways to like provide a different service in your business, in your current business that you're already running. Different inks, different supplies, and if you all have any recommendations, like if I'm doing something wrong, comment what I'm doing wrong, and then or like give me some suggestions. So, and one other thing that I want to say is like these baby wipes work really well from like cleaning ink out of your hands, and just to make sure the shop is clean. So baby wipes are a shop hack. Also, this screen opener is my favorite screen opener. It's the Cami 480. This stuff is amazing.